Well, I got a little bit of food from what I've planted, but the stinking grasshoppers and yellow jackets are enjoying my food faster than I can get it to grow enough to do anything. This is what, 3 foot tall? Most of them didn't ever germinate. I even replanted. I haven't put anything on them to try to get rid of bugs or keep it off or something, because I don't want to contaminate my food myself. Didn't make it out here yesterday because it had rained enough in the morning that I knew I didn't need a water. Still don't. At 3 7/10 inch in just a few days, and I think 3 of it came in a single day. Thankful for that. The well getting a little goofy. There's water standing right here. Oh, I know why. Somebody let something happen again. Here's the okra. Plants are real short. Stinking grasshoppers. I got these 2 plants here I managed to cut the little okra off of. I don't even bother to try to cook them anymore. I take them off the plant, eat them. Another one starting. I planted a whole row of the okra, 2 rows of yellow hybrid corn. Much anything going there. Just what I showed you. And over there I planted native corn, one that's kind of a maroon color normally. Nothing happened. I replanted it too, nothing happened. I got natural food going. I got purslane right here. They sell these plants at the grocery store for several dollars per plant in a pot. They grow naturally here. I picked some leaves off and ate a few a while ago. Since it got rained on, I didn't even worry about rinsing them. I just picked the ones up high. We're going to have to learn what we can get that's growing naturally on the land to eat. What kind of stuff is good for medications or whatever you want to call it. What's this thing? I think this is a sunflower. And normally I don't like the darn sunflowers unless they're the big ones that make the nice big seeds. Hey, butthead. But the sunflowers help put nitrogen back in the ground, if I remember correctly. So, over here, the soil I put in here, even though it's been a couple years now, so all the mulch could break down and make a better soil. Those are supposedly beets. Supposedly radishes. Instead of being a red bulb under the soil, there's a red root on top, and the stupid bugs are eating them. Here I've got an elm tree growing that I'll need to pull out and plant somewhere. Bunch of weeds that blew in here. Some might be edible. And the carrots. Look at that. Nothing but a root on top of the ground. Nothing underneath. This is worse than I've had before. Now, sweet potatoes, there might be a crop. And I think this is from some actual organic potatoes we got from an organic farm and didn't cook them. I put like 2 in there. There's supposed to be radishes growing in here too, and they just didn't make it. I think I might have even replanted. This bin had stinking fire ants in it, so I'd quit putting seeds. And later on, after watering and rains, okay, teeny tiny little carrot plant. It's probably not going to amount to anything. I got other bed with white potatoes. They're not the regular Irish potatoes. They're the soft skin white ones. A number of those grew. Just some that we didn't manage to cook. I did in here and put the whole thing in the ground. Same with the sweet potatoes. Didn't even bother to cut it up. Just stuck the whole thing in the ground. Because cutting them up before they ended up rotting, I don't know. We're going to be plagued more with insects. That's why I interviewed Wendy of Hardneck Farms and Doug of Uncommon News 777. We were trying to work together to figure out locust-proof greenhouse, because most regular greenhouses aren't going to handle well enough to locusts, especially if we get the kind that are mentioned in the Bible. It's in my gardening playlist along with a lot of other stuff. I've got a foraging playlist. I've got one for wild medicinals or whatever. Here's some more purslane. There's some other stuff that grows here that is probably usable, like types of wild lettuce. I don't see any right now. It was growing a while back. But I've got books and stuff to help me, but I don't get to use them. There's some good stuff available in paperback books, and usually they also sell download versions. Before you finish buying, it's best to try to look through the whole site, not agree to everything, because them places often offer more at a lesser rate if you don't go ahead and add and buy more already. Whether it's, you know, your herbal remedies or this and that, your lost ways of doing things. This here, that is covered with grasshoppers or maybe locusts. They're green and they were brown, so. But cactus. Somewhere here, see, there's prickly pear, but this one ended up crossbred. A darn prickly pear ended up growing right with spineless cactus. This could be food for your animals, you know, like cattle and what have you, livestock. Take a pear burner, it's propane torch with a big end on it, blow the flame out and burn the needles off. This kind here, you don't even have to do that. This is a source of water too. It's for hydration. If you're stranded, please learn all that kind of stuff so it can help you if you need it. Over here I have stinking mesquite growing, and actually when they're full grown and put beans on, you can use those beans to make kind of like a masa for tortillas, tamales or whatever, or make like a cornbread type deal with the beans. Also another kind of tree I got, somebody planted in the yard here, but it's more of a tropical weather tree, I think. These, I try to keep them rooted out because I don't want mesquites everywhere. I like the big ones that are shade, but here I want a field for hay or grazing, not thorns in my tires. I haven't managed to chop out, but at least this way I can actually see them and not get flats. This was covered with dandelions, so I let them grow and make seed. I harvested flowers off of some with part of the leaves. You can even use the roots. The different parts of the plant make tea, coffee, what have you, and those certain parts of it helps with prostate issues. So I take it to a family member that needs that, and they gather some of their own also in the place. And this year we finally got smart. I gathered some of mine. They're a little different than those. Both of us gathered, and he stuck them in the freezer to be able to gradually use them. These, what, Indian blankets, I guess? I tend to have brown-eyed Susans also. Now that the stuff I know is a healthy, you know, whatever, I may try to shred this. I thought about letting somebody make them some mixed up hay to sell, and maybe leave one bale for me instead of money, because I got a friend that if we have a drought is going to need some hay. Although the round bale may not last long enough for the livestock because nothing to cover it with. Here I had put some more of that spineless cactus, but I goofed up. I put it in a low spot. Do you see any? I don't. It's in there somewhere, but it's probably dead. It holds too much water once in a while. And I think that low spot is getting bigger, because I think when we have dry spells, the ground is collapsing there because of the pumping the water out of the ground. Right here where I'm stepping is a low spot that didn't exist until I had a line break at my wellhead and shoot water out that soaked the whole field. The truck and heavy gooseneck trailer almost got stuck out here in the dark. Turning it around because I didn't know it was wet. I think the ground settled. We got to watch for stuff like that, where not only water but whatever else is being pumped up out of the ground, it makes weak spots. It settles. That's why there's more sinkholes. They're not just natural. But anyway, it is what it is. I don't remember what else here I was wanting to show that may be of beneficial for treating ourselves or feeding our guts. Mesquite trees are up on the other side. I finally got to cut some up. I even cut up one branch that fell by the neighbor's place, and I drug it in here after asking him if I could. There's some old stumps. If I had to, that's firewood. There was other tree branches that broke off in storms recently. Most people wouldn't use that. I cut it up into logs and threw it on the beat up truck before it got worse beat up, and hauled it to my uncle so they can mix it with the old slow burning mesquite, and that softwood burns fast, too fast for heat. Okay, so you put one log of each, burn it together, then you got a nice heat in the home. So anyway, enjoy the oh, now my brain don't even remember what those bugs are. Is it katydid or is it cicada? The cicadas. These things, I need chickens and guineas, but I don't need the noise of the guineas. Thankfully the dogs have learned not to bark constantly, just to alert us. Guineas are great watch guard animals for alerting. There is a crane flying by, a white one. But anyhow, yeah, later folks. Cowboy Roy Rogers, 10-4 and out.